My dear students, today we are going to discuss about the data types in C++. So we list all the types of data that can be used in C++ programming. So the first type of data is called the character type. It is the short form that is used for this particular type of data type is char. And when you define a variable of character type, in the memory 1 byte will be reserved. And using this 1 byte, normally characters are unsigned. Therefore, using this 1 byte, it is possible to represent 256 different type of characters. This character could be the alphabets, like caps, small letters and capital letters. The special characters, that is plus, minus, dollar signs and any other special characters which is available in the computer keypad. And the second type of data type is Bool. It's also called Boolean. So it's like a logical operation. And Boolean has got only two states. They are true state and false state. True state and false state. So normally this type of Boolean will carry a positive number if the status is true status, and in all other cases it is indicating a false statement. So either it carries zeros or ones. The third type is called short int. Short int is also called short integer. Integer means a number which does not contain decimal point, or numbers without decimal points normally called as the integer numbers. So short integer is belongs to the signed category, because using this we can represent the positive numbers as well as negative numbers. So when we define a short integer in C++ program, then in the memory 2 bytes storage will be reserved, and using this 2 byte storage we will be able to represent numbers from -32,768 to 32,767. So which means that we can represent the negative number as well as positive numbers. Now, the next category is called unsigned short integer, because there are some cases where we are not interested in the sign. So in such cases you can go for unsigned short integer. So in this case there is no reservation for negative numbers, and the numbers are starting from 0. In this case we will have the double capacity of the short integer, which means from 0 until 600, that means 65535. So we can go up to a value, or a variable can be used to store a value up to 65535. So in order to represent numbers which is beyond the capacity of short integer, the next option is available, is called Int Type. It's also sometimes called the long int type. So when you define a variable in the long int, the total memory space will be 4 bytes. So using this, we will be able to represent a number from -2147483,648 until 2147483,647. That means a huge number can be represented by using this particular data type. And again, this belongs to the signed category. And sometimes we need a number which is supposed to be unsigned numbers. For a very large number to be represented, we'll go for unsigned integer. Again, the capacity will be 4 byte. The minimum number starting from 0, and the maximum number is 4,294,967,925, which is exactly double of this particular number system, which is the int or long int category. So far we have discussed about integers where the numbers are not having decimal points. Now we are discussing about when there is a case where the numbers are numbers are like what, decimal with the decimal points. So in such cases we can go for the type of the format, or the type of the data type is float. The float is something but floating point, a number with decimal points. Now when you define a float, 4-byte space or the storage will be allocated in the memory, and this is also the sign type, and using which we can represent a number 1.401298 etc 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 into 10 to the power minus 45. This means that this is a number with 0.00000 means what, 45 zeros. So this is going to be a very small number. Similarly, if you look at the positive side, you have a number with 38 zeros. So that a very large number can be represented using the float series. Now sometimes it is also not enough to represent the data using float, then we'll go for what we call the double capacity. So when you have the double capacity or the double type format, which is again belongs to the floating point series, the memory capacity will be 8-byte, and this particular number has an exponentiation time of nearly minus 324 on the negative side, and on the positive side you can have something like 308. So this means that point, the decimal point with 324 zeros before we start with the number 4.94, and similarly on the other end we will have 308 points after the decimal point. So these are the different type of the data types. So this will covers most commonly used data types in C++. So we'll meet again in the next class. In the next class we are going to discuss about arithmetic and logical operations and the operators with respect to C++. Thank you for listening this video lecture.